guys, it's Everybody Games.
Oh,
and
shit.
yeah, we are here once again.
I was like, wait,
2.
what happened? Oh, shit. Yeah.
no.
We're here. We made
It's
it
another
to number
episode.
2.
Holy
It's
shit.
another episode. And today, really quick, we wanted to give a shout out to one of our first patrons on Patreon. That's right. So if you guys know, well, I don't know if you guys know, but first episode, we didn't really talk about it. This episode, we officially have launched a Patreon at this point. So it's very important because it helps support the show. And for those of you patrons out there who are watching, thank you so much for supporting us this first round, this first month of Patreon patrons. And I also just want to give a shout out to our highest tier patron, who is the only for this month and for the first ever and only of this month. His name is Steven Insler, and thank you so much for supporting us. Just huge shout out to you, and you even increased your tier dollar amount
above and beyond.
Made a custom amount. Yeah, you went above and beyond. You made it to
Steven.
150. So
you rock.
we
I actually think he did
it.
I think he did it to get us over the first goal.
What?
Oh,
He
that's
saw how close
probably
we
what
were,
he's doing.
and that's what he
Boss.
increased it by. It
Nice.
was
We were
pretty
trying to
sick.
get to our goal of 1,000 for
The month.
a special little video, which you guys will see more of soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
And you guys hit it?
Yeah,
We
we
did
did
hit it today,
So
officially.
the first reward for that tier was that Naomi and I Naomi is going to start doing a weekly gaming news recap.
Excellent.
Similar to what she used to do daily, but now it's just going to be weekly.
Just
and
once a week of
It's
all the
good.
important stuff.
You don't
that
have to
happened.
search up every bit
Oh
of news.
yes, there's gonna be a lot of research, and that is why we.
Yeah.
needed
Yeah.
Daily sounds like a grind. My goodness. Who made you do that? Just kidding.
Yeah.
I know somebody did, but no. Also, just to shout out to the mode itself, so that we kind of name our tiers by modes, and so
Yeah.
this is the hardcore mode.
Yes.
Nice.
Just for if you guys are wondering.
No
So if you want to
restarts.
get on this hardcore mode and get a personal shout out at the start of every episode, it's called hardcore mode, and you can get it.
The dark souls of
the dark
modes.
souls of
Jeez
modes.
Louise, yeah.
And then we want to give a shout out to Rode microphones as well. Michael Piccolodo.
Matthew.
Oh, Matthew. Sorry. Why did I say Michael?
I don't know.
Oh, probably because our artist is named Michael Klukowski.
Oh, yeah,
Who
Klukowski.
did this Everybody Games logo. Also, shout out to
Cool.
him. But thank you, Rode Microphones, for providing microphones for our podcast.
And also shout out to our new editor.
And our new editor. Oh, my
I like
gosh.
shout-outs.
So many shout outs
Yeah,
today.
well, we got to get him out.
We got to get him out. This is only our second episode. So,
Yeah.
we should definitely. Emily Schultz. Yeah.
Thanks, Emily.
Perfect.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Emily.
Thank you,
Editing
Matthew.
this
Thank you, Road. Hashtag ad. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Well, another shout out. No, I'm kidding. We have Jimmy here, who,
Hi, guys.
as you know, is our guest for today. Jimmy, how have you been?
I've been very good. I love podcasting. I was very excited to hear that you had a podcast. When I
Yes.
saw it on Twitter, I was like, tell me everything about it.
Yeah, and you were
I
like,
will
I can
help
help
you.
with the audio levels. I was like, oh, God, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully this is sounding better for
Yeah.
everyone. But
Yeah.
you guys had Sonia on for the first episode. I love Sonia. I've known her for, I think, 2 years now. And it's E3 next week, and that was when the first time I met her.
Oh my gosh! So it's kind of a celebratory.
Man,
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's a good week.
And we met you through Sonia, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
that's
cool
right.
little circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I met you through Sonia.
Yeah.
You
I
and
think
Naomi had
I
met
followed
before.
you on social media for many
Yeah.
years.
And we were both on Polaris or Disney XD XP.
That is right.
Sorry.
That is
Even I
right.
can't get the branding right
Last
these
year,
days.
Disney XP. We did. We did some. Well, was it XP or
Is it, I
XD?
It was
thought it was
XP.
XD. Oh
It's
my
XP
God.
because experience points,
Oh.
just to
Yeah,
make it
they
more
switched
confusing.
It up. But I still
Wow.
call it Disney XD because
Yeah.
it's the same thing. But so you were on the show with us for the IGN show. This was last year.
That was a lot of
How
fun.
was that for you?
It was crazy just seeing how much content was being made by you guys, by the shows we had, by Parker Plays, and all those shows all put together. Like, they filled a huge block of time with gaming-specific content, and it was family-friendly, and for the most part, I thought really, really good.
Yeah.
So-
Are you hoping to do it again this year?
Well, I know for a fact that we're not doing it again this year. But I would love to do more in that realm. I think what Disney did in that regard was really admirable because it hasn't, ever since G4 and all those old channels, we don't have a gaming dedicated anything.
Network, yeah.
ESPN has a gaming esports segment, but it's nothing like actual, here's the Saturday Night Live of gaming. Here's your daily fix of news and stuff from IGN. So, instead of having to search that stuff online, I found a lot of parents actually tweeted me about it and being like, hey, we watch the channel every night before we go to sleep because I know it's going to be safe for the kids and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really awesome to hear.
Amazing.
Because the parents are getting a little bit of the taste too. Otherwise, they would never see anything.
It's content for them too in a lot of ways, and I think that's one thing about gaming is that it brings people together.
Yes.
And hence the name of our show.
And everybody does it.
And everybody.
games.
Yay.
A jingle or
That's awesome.
something.
Oh, we do need to work on a jingle
We
for
need a
that.
jingle.
Ooh, we
That's
should
the
probably-
$10,000 tier.
Yeah.
Come on, bring it in, kids.
Bring it in, guys.
Just kidding.
So Jimmy, tell us a little bit about what you do. Like,
Sure.
what have you been working on? Because you're kind of a guy who wears many hats. I mean, you
True.
came in here in this room just before recording this podcast, and you were like, you took over my computer, which I totally didn't mind, but you were like, I'm gonna fix the video and the audio and make little fine tunes. And it was very interesting to watch. And fun
thank
to
you.
watch.
I was super relieved because I'm just like winging it on all this stuff.
Oh, I feel you.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time when we started our podcast a few years ago, we were definitely winging it. And I fortunately, when I started YouTube, it was with music. So that's why I have familiarity with microphones, audio settings, and how to make stuff sound better for like an internet or mobile audience, basically. And since then, you know, I've been an actor in LA. I do a lot of hosting. I do a lot of gaming stuff as well, like we were talking about with Disney. The podcast that I have is about Magic the Gathering. So everyone's
So we're
favorite.
gonna
I used
hear a
to
lot
play
about that,
so much
maybe.
Magic.
Oh, really? Well, perhaps you'd
I
like to
quit.
get back
I would love to
into
get
it.
back into it for sure. Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
We started that 3 years ago, and the format that we like to play is a format called Commander, and it's about multiplayer, and specifically a lot about politics and how to, like, you know, each game in Magic is different. And 1v1 is usually very competitive. You don't need to talk to your opponent to play with them. But in multiplayer Magic, you have to be making deals and all that stuff. So we were like, let's make a podcast that focuses just on that aspect of it and how to be a better, you know, Magic player. But also, in a lot of times, we found that the lessons sort of apply universally.
Yeah.
You know, it makes
Definitely.
me a better negotiator, a better debater. I can just talk. Literally, if you wanted me to talk for the next hour straight, I would find a way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take
Cool.
a break right
Please don't
here.
make me. I need my
Enjoy
water.
the Jimmy Wong podcast.
On YouTube, I do a cooking show called Feast of Fiction. Started that 6 years ago. And in the acting world, I was in a show called Video Game High School back in the day that my brother Freddie directed. And I'm going to be upcoming in a animated movie next year called Wish Dragon, which is really exciting.
That's
oh
cool.
my gosh, tell
Yeah.
us more about that. So
It's
can you?
Yeah,
Tell
I
us
absolutely
more?
can. I can tell you what has been revealed to the world.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
it's an all Asian cast, which is awesome. It's me, John Cho, Constance Wu. I believe Jackie Chan's going to be a voice in it too. Jimmy O Yang, do you guys watch Silicon Valley?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
we
that guy.
do.
He's a big
my,
Overwatch
He's my
League
Jimmy.
fan.
Yeah. He's my Jimmy from another mother. So it's like a modern retelling of the classic Aladdin's tale, but set in modern day China.
Oh, wow.
So a kid,
Oh.
instead of finding a lamp with a genie, he finds a teapot with a wish dragon.
Oh,
and
that's
the wish
awesome.
dragon has to grant this kid some wishes, and it sort of goes through the same steps, you know, of this kid that, you know, wants to reunite sort of with a long lost childhood friend, and shenanigans ensue.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh. And do you have to do a lot of research for this kind of thing?
Not really. I just
Okay.
go in there and say the lines, and the director tells me to adjust a little. I mean, you've done voiceover before.
I have,
It's
yeah.
like you say the same thing 20 times in a row until they're like, "That's perfect," and you're like, "Thank God."
Yeah.
And you move on.
Half the time you're just like winging it and hoping that something changes in your.
Yeah, seriously.
Intonation
You do all
and-
sorts of weird stuff too. You take your shoes off. You like close your eyes. You're like, "No, I need to sip my tea before this take, just in case." It really helps.
That's
So the movie's coming out next summer.
Oh my
so
gosh.
very exciting.
That's
Well,
exciting.
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So then is acting like something that got you first interested in working on YouTube? And like,
Yeah.
what was kind of the. So did you go to college for this? Like what was your
I
first stepping stone
unfortunately
into?
spent a lot of time in college for this.
Okay.
Too much time.
Okay.
I spent 4 years studying theater, and I always tell people I learned more a year in LA than I did in 4 years in college, just because on the ground physical experience is just, you can't beat it.
practical
you
versus
can't.
theory, basically.
You really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the theory I was getting taught was like old acting techniques by older professors that weren't really hooked in with like making YouTube viral internet videos.
Yeah.
So for me that was like a lot of like hit the ground running. And my brother at that time had started YouTube, but I was like, there's no serious acting on YouTube. I need to be a serious actor. So I spent a whole year doing that, and then afterwards I was like, you know, maybe I'll try doing YouTube. So I started with music. And then I started acting and other small projects, and it sort of all just sort of encompassed itself and folded itself into itself, because I've done a lot of hosting now as a result, because YouTube teaches you to obviously talk to a camera and like communicate
Engage
with an audience.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And as a result, you know, all my old gaming knowledge and history has come back to really help me, because I worked on All Chat, which was like League of Legends community show
Yeah.
for a while. I've done hosting for Disney for all the gaming stuff, so it's really helped, which is awesome. I never thought, I don't think my parents ever thought either, that my video gaming as a kid would be so crucial to the work I found today.
And how you make a living.
Yeah,
in a lot.
exactly.
Yeah. And then would you say that you're a creative type then, or is it more the technical side that
I
interests
hope
you,
so.
or-
I mean, I like to say I'm a jack of all trades, master of some, because I don't like the master of none title. I think that's kind of degrading.
I think the full
Okay.
term is jack of all trades, master of none, better at better at them than most or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
There's a third sentence
An
to it.
additional.
It's
Yeah.
it's like in the Indiana Jones movie when they like uncover the last
Yeah.
part. Like, oh my
Fine.
gosh, it
Oh
said
my
the
God.
thing all along.
I'm gonna Google it. We got
Yeah.
space phones while you guys
Yeah.
are
Oh my gosh.
chatting.
Phones,
All right, you
amazing.
can do
Yeah.
that. Let's talk about E3. So
Oh, yeah.
this is, we just had a chat about this before, but yeah, you've been to many E3s in your lifetime.
Yeah, I actually went the first year we snuck in. Before they were really strict about the passes and stuff, and they opened it up to the public. We'd always just like, oh, our friend has one. Like, I guess let's do the thing, you know.
Right.
But we never played any games because we never wanted to wait in lines for it.
I got it. I got the full
Oh,
thing.
yeah?
You
I'm
did?
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I
guys.
want to know it
searched
because
it.
I say it all the time.
The complete saying is a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Oh.
I
That's
like
pretty
this.
cool, right?
And it
I like
rhymes.
this a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's a better
Which
time.
makes it like triply true, right? If it
I like
rhymes.
that. I'm kind of down with that.
I like
That's
it.
Cool.
Sorry. Okay, that's my role in this. I just derailed the conversation.
No, it's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad we have that because I'm going to remember that from now on.
Well,
We were talking about E3, right?
We were talking
Yeah.
about E3.
That's just coming up. That's just around the corner.
It is literally this weekend. So conferences start, of course, on Saturday. So we're going to have
my God.
a crazy whirlwind of information coming in. But you might not even be there this year.
No, it's a bummer. I might be flying to New Zealand to film a project. I can't talk about that one.
Oh no!
I know.
Shucks.
Like, shucks.
New Zealand.
At the same
boo.
time, part of me is like, but guys, you could have told me earlier that I needed to go this day because I scheduled a lot of like viewings and stuff and booths at E3.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Obviously, opportunities come once in a lifetime. So, but I love E3. I've been every year for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. And I know a lot of people like, there was a while where people were like, E3 sucks.
Yeah, the
Well, yeah.
cynics.
Yeah, the
They were like,
cynics.
oh, it's dying out. All these other conferences are happening before E3. So what's
Yeah.
the point of even going?
It's cool watching it evolve, though, back
It
from
is,
the,
yeah.
you must have a big show to Nintendo being like, nah, we just do what we want.
We just do our own thing.
That's Nintendo, though. They're just like always
know.
doing their own thing.
And it
and
works
it's great. Well,
every
yeah,
time.
because they own it.
He's like that creative kid in class. You're like, what's that kid doing? And he turns out it's like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo,
Yes. Okay. Let's go.
Pokemon,
You can
Segue.
go right into
and
it, Kyle.
and
Kyle's
let's go.
super pumped.
It's Pokemon. Like it's Pokemon.
I know. And we did that Pokemon Go show for a while. Or that
Oh
live
yeah, the
stream.
live stream. Oh my god, I completely
Yeah,
forgot
I still
about
like
that.
Oh,
remember
really?
the pain
Yeah.
of that chest mount
Yeah.
that I had to
I think
wear.
that's the only reason that I got to be on it was because I was the only one that would walk around with the rig on for 3
That's
hours.
hilarious. But
Yeah.
you guys went like IRL streaming with Pokemon Go.
We
Yes,
were,
exactly.
yes,
Oh, amazing.
and
It was really
streaming
fun.
live
And
while
I
it's
think the
going on.
coolest, we did this when we were at IGN. The coolest thing that happened was we were walking, because the IGN office is in San Francisco by AT&T Park. We're walking
Uh-huh.
down the Embarcadero, and Naomi's like talking and looking out at a Pokemon, and I can see this little kid, and he's like waving. And I'm like, hey, that kid's waving at us. And we go over there, and he's watching us on his phone.
Whoa.
And
It
it's
was
like
so-
it's like the cutest, most polite thing I've ever experienced in my
He
life.
was,
So cute.
yeah, he was the sweetest little kid.
It was
Did
a
you try and
magical
catch him?
moment. Yeah, I did. I put him in the backpack.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Level
that's-
20.
That was
No.
a really cool experience. So, what is it about this iteration of Pokemon Go that you're so pumped about?
Well, it's Pokemon.
Obviously.
It's Pokemon, so
Yes.
that's got me excited already. And it's I think the whole title is Let's Go Pikachu, and then the other one is Let's Go Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the Nintendo Switch. And the thing that really excites me is that the Pokemon you catch on Pokemon Go, you get to have on the Switch game.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So unless
So
I'm
everything
completely
you've
off base,
accumulated to this point, you
Yeah.
can just have it transfer over.
Why did I ever stop
And-
playing?
yeah. Well, I stopped playing. I caught.
I stopped playing many years ago.
Yeah, me
A
too.
year ago.
We used to do it a lot. We'd
2
walk around
years.
a lot doing it. I stopped
did.
playing. I caught a Squirtle and a Charizard, and I was like, I'm
I
done.
kind of set my
Charizard?
goals.
I did, yeah.
that too.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a Charizard.
I got a. We were
know.
at San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
everyone had
nice.
left, and they were all doing stuff, and it was like 5 people in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's a fucking Charizard outside!" Oh
Do
shoot!
you remember when they had the like, oh my gosh, they're gonna have a panel and they're gonna reveal the first legendary at Comic Con?
Oh,
and, like,
really?
And Phil DeFranco was tweeting about it.
Yeah.
Everyone was freaking out. He's like, no, this would cause mass chaos, and the fact that you have to be in San Diego during Comic Con
To
to
do
get
it.
something is like,
Yeah.
how elitist can you get with
Yeah,
Pokemon Go?
yeah. That's about as
Super
elitist
duper,
as you can
Yeah.
get. Yeah. As soon as I got the Charizard, I was so hyped. I was
But
like,
then did you keep playing?
no, that was it.
That's
That was-
that's kind of
yeah.
what happened with me is I set myself
Yeah.
goals and I was like, oh, once I got those,
Yeah.
now what? Like I didn't for the longest time get a Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my main goal.
You
That's all
wanted a
I'm gonna
Pikachu.
do.
Did you ever get a Pikachu? You did, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then that's when I stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then well, it obviously was some sort of a craze, but now it's kind of resurging. It's coming
It
back
actually
up.
still had a
is.
pretty hardcore audience. Like,
Yeah.
like it was super
It was the
mainstream.
Fortnite of that year.
Oh, that's bold. That's bold.
I don't know,
mean-
man. A
Bold.
lot of people were playing. I would
Yeah,
say
you're right.
so many
Actually, you
people
know what?
were
It was.
playing.
It
in
was.
that it brought a lot of people to the game that you wouldn't expect.
I
I know
rem-
what Fortnite did too. I think.
I
Maybe
agree.
maybe you couldn't compare it like numbers wise, but social impact wise for sure.
Oh, for
Actually,
sure.
Pokemon Go may have had a larger
Maybe,
social
yeah,
impact.
Might have been larger.
and maybe bigger numbers because it's mobile. Like, so
Yeah.
I
So
might be
everyone has
talking
access
completely.
to it. Yeah.
And it. I remember we would walk around and we'd be at like a spot. There was a spot where you could farm Charmanders, and there would just be just dozens of people on their phone just trying to catch the Pokemon. That's absurd.
Mm-hmm.
It is absurd. It brought people outside.
Yeah,
Made
that was
them
crazy.
exercise. That was the
We
big
walked
thing.
so much, yeah, and then to hatch the eggs, you got to walk them. It's crazy.
It was a very sociable time for us.
yeah,
We were outside
got
the
outside
house
so
a
much.
lot.
That's about as much as we did. Probably
Meeting,
the
running
peak.
into friends.
Yeah,
on the
talking to
street.
people on the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
The Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is also going to be the original, the Kanto Pokemon too. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so that's big for me because
That's cool.
Gen 2 is pretty much where I lost.
I
interest.
consider there only to be 151 Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
In existence. I don't even think about the other ones honestly.
Yeah, I think I can name like 2 of the Gen 2 ones. I think.
I remember the first time I was like, I played Blue, Red, and Yellow to death, and then the next series came out, and at that point I had moved on to something else, so I just didn't play that Pokemon. And I remember at some point, like years later, someone showed me a Pokemon that was literally a trash can. I was like,
Yeah.
this is
Oh
it.
my god.
It is Jump the Shark. Pokemon
Yeah.
is over.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
literally made one.
What? What's your
Yeah.
favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon? I mean, I love Flareon. I love
Oh,
because
good
I have a
call.
dog too.
Yeah.
She's a fiery one. Wherever she is.
Where is she?
Probably
Kiwi.
napping. Yeah, oh, she's there. And she's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
She's
perfect.
napping.
underneath the table.
Under the table.
For those of you listening.
And past that, probably, I don't know. I love Squirtle. Squirtle
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Squirtle's cute.
You?
For me, it's always been Mewtwo.
Oh wow.
And Squirtle.
Wow.
Dang, you really that is a
Dang,
good
just
one.
choose the
Yeah.
most powerful
Yeah.
Pokemon
Yeah.
in the first.
Well,
cool, that's
also
cool.
the most mysterious for the longest time
Yeah.
in the
True.
series. I used
And
to
mine's
watch the show.
Blastoise because like
Blastoise, nice.
yeah, because like Charizard's a dragon, obviously, and like
Mm-hmm.
what is it? Venusaur is like a
a
giant
plant
thing, but Blastoise just has cannons on his back.
Randomly, like how do you evolve to just have
Yeah.
metallic cannons popping out your back?
I
Or
also
turn
just
into a trash can.
I also
Yeah.
the trash can one's pretty good. I also
Trashy
recently
mon.
figured out or was told that Squirtle is a combination between squirrel and turtle.
Oh.
Squirrel turtle. I thought it was
Oh,
just
I
like a
didn't even-
squirt turtle.
Dang
Oh,
it.
that actually
That makes so much more sense.
is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
something I've never
squirrel-
A
thought
squirt
about that.
twirtle.
Because he has like a
Twirtle.
squirrel tail.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
I
true.
could be completely full of shit.
No,
Someone
it
told me
does
to do
make
this.
sense. It does make a lot
squirrel
of
turtle.
sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
and none of us know the Japanese names either, so we can't
No, yeah.
really comment on that.
There's someone in the comments right now. Well, actually, they're just like
Blah, blah,
just
blah, blah,
ripping
blah.
me
Man, I hope
apart.
their keyboard's that loud.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah, I can't
Kyle's
play
is
game. It's
a lot of clicking going
it's in our
around.
bedroom right now. So if I'm trying to game at night, I'm like, I got a mechanical keyboard. I'm like, okay,
If you're playing League, it's just a lot of mouse clicking.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Unless you're rage typing, which happens.
I'm excited for a new Pokemon Go. I'm excited for them to put it on the Switch. I know that there's another more traditional title coming to the Switch later
Yes.
this year, so the hardcore fans that want that Pokemon experience don't need to worry. I just thought what happened when Pokemon Go came out was the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen in gaming.
that phenomenon.
Ever.
Yeah, yeah.
We had I could say thousands of people. It feels like at Santa Monica Pier every single night for
Oh, yeah.
months
Yeah.
on end. I can just the vendors' eyes were just like what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, a lot of these people aren't paying attention to us.
Yeah.
but they're here on like
They're
a
all
weekday
hanging
night.
out and in groups of people, like groups of people.
and screaming about stuff like rushing
Yep.
and doing things together.
Yep.
There's like a
It was the
thrill.
like
Like a
coolest
stampede,
Thing. I
yeah.
remember at Comic-Con we were walking around. It's like that person's playing Pokemon Go. That
Yep.
person is. Oh,
Yeah.
and that group of people
Yeah.
is also.
Yeah,
It was really fascinating.
It was every landmark at the La
Yep.
Brea Tar Pits.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you went, you would see people looking at their phones. I'm surprised more people didn't get hit by cars, honestly. But it works out.
It
You
was
would
a game that infected other businesses as well.
For
you know,
sure.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
improved their business for that
Yeah.
month or however long it lasted.
Yeah, there were signs like there's a Pokemon stop in here.
Pokestop here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which-
I remember seeing people driving and like, because you could like move faster, but not fast enough to trick it. So
Yeah.
you would drive and then you would cross a number of distance and like
So
more Pokemon
dangerous.
spawn. Yeah, I know. I yelled at a
Don't
couple
do
of
that.
people.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
But
All right.
I'm excited for it to come back. I hope that there is some similar effect globally for people to do this. And maybe my thing was like, I hope this spawns more games that are similar. But Pokemon is such a
Using
unique.
the AR and everything.
The
yeah.
AR, yeah. There's the Harry Potter one.
Oh, really?
There's a Harry Potter like cell phone AR game.
That's cool.
Well,
I don't
I've
know the
not
exact
heard about
title.
it, so I guess it wasn't.
The only thing I saw on Twitter was people were not happy with it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
yeah.
I think it was just like the perfect storm. They perfected that whole component.
Yeah.
to it.
Plus
Well, I would
Pokemon.
argue that Niantic really shit the bed in a lot of ways with that app because it crashed so much and the
Yeah.
There
fighting
was a lot of
They did.
problems.
It didn't work.
They did.
So
but-
many times I was close to Pokemon, then it would just disappear.
Do you remember when
and I
the
was like,
Pokemon
what?
Go Fest happened and like
No.
the
That
Oh,
whole thing.
yeah.
Yes. Never mind. I spoke too soon.
oh my
Yes.
goodness, that was a disaster.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
a real shitty.
They like said
event
we're
moment.
gonna have this happen. Everyone showed them. It's like it doesn't happen because we couldn't handle the load.
It's
We couldn't-
broken.
Yeah, kind of like what happens with every MMO launches for the first
Yes,
time.
Someone
Yeah,
needs to fix that problem now.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley. Where
There's so many like
Seriously.
use cases of MMO launches. Like you would think people have learned at this point.
Nope.
I mean, so many games.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is not really, but you know,
Yeah,
it's
that-
just an
at the-
example
at
of
the
so
start,
many launches,
yeah.
and the most recent launch that I
See-
can think of that
yeah.
completely just.
I was really
At
burned
the
by
start-
that.
yeah.
We were gonna stream it, and then
Oh,
it
you
just
I
couldn't
was
play it?
dressed
couldn't
up in
even
my
play it.
pirate
Yeah, she was in a
outfit,
pirate outfit, everything.
ready
Yeah.
to go. And then I ended up playing what was it, Monster Hunter World or something?
I don't remember,
Kind of
was it?
piratey.
Yeah, I think it was Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is similar to Pokemon Go in that they both delivered an uncompleted game at start.
yeah.
but
And
who doesn't these days, right?
That's true.
Jeez,
I wonder if
for
it's
Nintendo.
gotten better.
for the most part.
For
I'm sure
launch?
it has.
Sea
I'm
of
sure it's
Thieves,
gone-
I
Oh,
mean,
Sea of
Sea of
Thieves, yes,
Thieves,
it
yeah.
has.
I've seen
yeah.
a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I haven't-
and
I
they've
haven't picked it
recently
up
updated
since.
the game or like made a lot of bug fixes.
There's
and
another
things
game like
that.
that. No Man's Sky obviously had that terrible launch, right? That everyone was really
Those
hateful.
are all very similarly related.
really. The internet was really mad about it. I felt really.
Yeah. Oh, some motorcycle outside. Don't mind that, folks. Oh, that is really loud. Oh, he's parked outside.
Wonderful for this guy.
Oh, he's waiting for
okay.
it to heat up.
I'm gonna go ahead
We
and
have our
shut the window.
windows open because it's kind of chilly.
Be right back. Keep talking.
All right.
Kind of chilly.
Or hot.
steamy.
Steamy.
Getting steamy up in here.
I had my. It's opposite day. What didn't you guys know? That's the
I was talking
oldest
about
joke that I've used for
The
like,
opposite
since
day joke. Sorry,
the
guys, I'm
beginning of
back.
time.
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
back.
Sorry.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, I've heard, has gotten a lot better. A lot of people.
Maybe now's the time to play. Maybe you should just wait a year for every video game
Yeah.
that has online components to
If
play.
only every developer would. Well,
But they
actually,
don't want
it's mostly
to.
the
Developers
publishers.
would rather just rush to it and get their money.
It's the parent studios.
Deadlines,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it for No Man's Sky, it was Sony because it was supposed to be like a console
Yes.
launcher.
Oh, that's
basically.
right.
There was lack
Yeah.
of oversight on Sony's part
Yeah.
a little bit for that. At
And
least with the
pushing too
PR
much. You know what I
side.
mean?
Games
yeah.
are hard.
Yeah, you're right. The
Games
Games
are not
hard,
easy to make.
guys.
Yeah, there's always those guys on the internet like, well, why don't they just go ahead and do it? It's not hard. It's like, actually, it's real fucking
Why
hard.
don't you go
Real
make a
hard.
game
Yeah.
and make it be successful?
Yeah.
Try to make a
and
10
get back
minute
to us
game
on
and
that.
see how you do. Yeah.
Well, speaking of games we're excited for, maybe that might launch too early and break. E3, you know, do you have any predictions or anything that you guys are looking forward to seeing? I don't know, you're going to be out of town, but
Yeah. I still want to see a new Smash. I want to see a Smash that is completely new.
so Nintendo would have to bring in a completely revamped.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I know
Like, that
Sakurai's
seems-
still working on it, but that's
Yeah.
the thing is usually he's very public about his progress and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and there's been just silence from him for a while. So if he's been working on something in private, that's amazing they're able to keep it private for so long. So I'm really interested to see what happens. And that's one of the reasons I'm kind of bummed I'm missing it too, because I was like, I would love to play the game.
Yeah.
How burnt would you be if there was like a playable Smash at E3?
Oh, there definitely is going to be a playable Smash.
You definitely.
I got an email that was like, you can get tickets to play Smash. You have to actually get
Oh,
a
I
ticket
didn't
to
know
get in
that.
line. Yeah, they went on sale today at like 5 or something.
Okay.
Or not even on sale, just to get one to be in place. But normally, you know, I've been a Nintendo brand ambassador. I've worked with them a lot of times over the years. Normally, we get to go up and like have a small private booth tour, which you get to play the games without having to wait in line.
Yeah.
Just so we can, you know, comment about it on
Yeah.
all of our
Yeah, they
websites.
want
content
your
creators. They
feedback.
want you to
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then talk about it.
So I'm gonna miss that. So if Smash does happen, I won't be there to play it.
So you
Oh my
will be
gosh.
burnt. You are gonna be burnt.
I'm already burnt.
He's
You're
already
already
burnt.
burnt.
He's
Burnt
not going to be
Reynolds.
there.
Yeah, Burnt Reynolds, everybody.
Oh man.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 I'm excited about too.
Yes.
Just because it looks really sweet. I have played
Anything Kingdom
a
Hearts.
game
if
a game
they-
series I'm not into. I
Well,
haven't really
tough.
played it. I haven't really played it. It's,
Yeah, but I'm glad we're talking about it and we have you here to talk
Yeah.
about it because same like you, Kyle, I don't actually play Kingdom Hearts and I haven't been invested in that world, but I understand the hype around it.
I do too.
Yeah.
I only played a little bit of it, to be honest, of like the Game Boy version, the 3DS
Right.
version, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, because the story is very convoluted. It's super Japanese and weird. Like, let's just mash it all together and
Try to
make
keep
all
track,
sorts of
guys.
different universes and characters and
Ooh.
relationships and hidden secrets, and it just
Yeah.
gets like you're just like, oh my gosh, this is like reading a giant fanfic. But the combat system looks amazing, and the graphics look really, really good in the little bits and pieces I've seen. So I think it'd be a lot of fun to play.
Right.
That's for
so
me.
you think they'll have it playable, perhaps? Would that be one of the big
That would be
surprises,
huge if they had the
perhaps?
playable version
Yeah.
for sure. Or like, and they usually combine that with like a demo you can get, you know.
Yeah.
So
Or at least, do we have a release date for that game yet? I don't think they announced it. So if they
have a space
if
phone.
they do have an announcement, it's either going to be a release date or like
Yeah, I think a
actually have
release
it
date or a
playable
release
the day
period.
of, which would be a crazy thing.
they could say, I would, let's guesstimate. Let's say they're going to do summer 2019. That's what I'm going to say for Kingdom Hearts.
That's a good
3.
call. Yeah, before the crazy October hoopla. And Kyle, did you have any games you're looking forward to seeing at
that's
E3?
not right.
What's that?
That's definitely not right.
What's
It
not
said-
right?
It said
Oh, Googling. He's Googling.
Kingdom
Oh,
Hearts
just-
3 out now.
initial release date just says 2018. No, it said June 2014. I'm like, that's
Oh,
not right at all.
no.
2014.
So, sorry, the question was, what
Favorite
am I
games?
excited
Yeah,
for?
sorry. I actually wasn't sure you were Googling that. So
I was. No, I was just texting someone.
I mean,
the middle of the
You
podcast.
can totally do
No, I
as
know.
you
I'm just
please.
messing. Games I'm excited for at E3. I
Or
don't know.
have you heard of anything, rumblings of things that...
No, so I've been trying to do this. Same with movies, where I'm trying to just remain ignorant to a lot of stuff, and then just be
Get the
surprised.
surprises.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's
I
the
feel
reason
that.
why I try not to play a lot of betas, and then like I just want to experience stuff for the first time. But at E3, shoot.
Well, here's some things that, people are talking about. So they're talking there might be a Splinter Cell reveal. Might be
Wow,
Splinter Cell.
Tom
Oh.
Clancy Splinter Cell.
At least
Oh.
so
Those
those
are
are
always
some
really
of the
fun.
hyped expectations.
Oh man.
There's going to be a lot of Gears of War, and we're looking to see
Not as
like
excited for
Gears of
Gears
War.
of War.
Anything? I don't know.
How many battle royales do you think are going to be there?
At least a couple.
I
but
think there might be a couple. Yeah, I think a lot
Gears
of
of War Battle Royale done.
Yeah.
done.
Curb
Easy.
stomp your way to
Five.
number one.
Look how
Five.
quickly.
I think
Look
it'll
how
be five at
quickly
least.
Call of Duty did it. I mean. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprising to see other
intrigued
companies.
to see- I'm
jump on
intrigued to see how
bandwagon.
that-
It's just a multiplayer mode, so why not
True.
do it?
Yeah, exactly. If it's something
you're-
you add onto your game without losing the actual game itself.
Yeah,
like-
and if
Yeah.
an audience, if you present it that way, an audience is going to be like, "Oh, it's just something they added for fun,"
Yeah.
Right.
Like let's check it out. But it might appeal to just that core audience. It might not necessarily bring in other people, but
Well, I'm excited to see how specific to Call of Duty how they execute on that battle royale.
Yeah.
Because if I understood the trailer, it's like the world that you're dropping into is going to have is going to have your favorite maps in it. So like,
Oh, cool.
part of the greater map will be like Nuketown and like some of the fan favorites, which is
Cool.
really cool.
That is really
I think
cool.
it'll be very important that not every gun is hit scan. Because one of the cool things about like Fortnite, H1Z1, PUBG is the projectile, like
Bullet drop.
Yeah, bullet drop, lobbing a shot and hitting that headshot from like 200 meters away. That feels so good.
so satisfying.
And if all the shots are hit scan, that won't happen.
yeah.
True. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just think there's going to be a ton of battle royales.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's that cycle. It's that fighting games, MMO, MOBAs. Wait, it's probably fighting games, RTS, MMO, MOBA. Now it's battle royale. Maybe trading card game in between the MOBAs.
Which I would,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe.
It was pretty much just Hearthstone, and then there's Gwent.
Gwent is the new
Gwent,
big one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Magic is still huge.
Well, Magic is like that's a behemoth. Yeah, I played so much Magic as a kid.
You guys have a ton of subscribers for your Magic podcast.
Yes.
What's
In
the name of
fact,
your podcast?
It's
We
called
should-
the Command Zone Podcast. Sorry, we should
Yeah,
have said
we
that
didn't
maybe
even
20
drop the
minutes
name.
ago.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There you
If you
go.
know, you know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding. We also do a show called Game Nights, which is essentially a gameplay version of the game, and then we cut to interviews and stuff of people reacting in the moment of what's happening. But Magic, I think, had like a 2x growth in its player base for like 3 years straight a few years back.
Wow.
Wow.
Just because a lot of the people that grew up playing it, like me, when I was like 7 or 8, I remember playing in second grade outside the the school in the gravel, which is cards. And a lot of those people are now my age, which is like
Yeah.
early 30s or late 20s, and now they have expendable income.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, this game that I couldn't afford ever is now very affordable
Oh my
to me.
God.
And so people are, it's a hobby, obviously. And in
Yeah.
any hobby, you have to spend money. So instead of, spending $200 on video games in the next 2 months, I'm going to spend that on Magic cards instead.
That's so much Magic, so many Magic cards.
Yeah, and I will say you get a whole lot more value out of Magic cards than you do a video game because you can keep playing the same deck forever.
Yeah.
And you're never, you can play a video game, maybe
It
20,
gets
30
dated at a certain
hours. It
point.
gets dated. And
Yeah.
unless it's a classic like The Last of Us, you're not going to really be going back to it necessarily either.
That's true.
Yeah, I played as a kid. There was a bookstore around the corner from me.
Oh,
and,
cool.
And on the weekend, every Sunday, there was a Magic, like
There you
like
go.
a Magic gathering, like a bunch of nerds.
I was waiting for you to say
A
that.
bunch of nerds, like between like 12 to like.
Excuse me.
aficionados,
Thank you.
and we'd get together and all just play Magic. And like, I remember my thing at the time was I would run a.
Oh,
I
this
was
is
young.
great. This is when we lose them.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cal's going off on
No,
a
I want to
tangent.
hear it.
I used to run a.
Colors do represent who you are as a person as well.
Yeah,
100%.
well, I'll reinforce it. I used to run a white deck, a white angel deck, and
nice.
I'm also obsessed with paladins on the side. So it's like
There
that
you
was my
go.
thing. So,
Holiness, healing,
Yeah.
lifelink,
Yeah,
flying.
For those of you
Justice,
listening,
yeah,
Kyle's
yeah.
very
Justice.
red
Yeah.
in the face right now.
Yeah, really, and I'm not red. I'm not embarrassed. That was
No,
my.
He's
not
not a red player, he's a white
embarrassed.
player.
I mean, like you're just bashful
I'm a
thinking
red
about
player.
it.
Yeah, red. That was my friend who was a red player, and so I would play
Burn it all.
a white deck or a green deck. So
Nice.
those are my two. That's the ones I like.
Selesnya are those two colors together.
Really?
White, green, yeah.
That's interesting. Jeez, man. I
Definitely a very holy spirit then.
I
because
could
green's
go-
all about growth, nature,
Yeah.
power, all that stuff.
I had anyway. I'll go. Yes, I would love to get back into Magic the Gathering. I would.
Well, if
go.
it was only a podcast.
Yeah,
you
if there was
listen-
only
Just kidding.
someone I knew who was into it, yeah, that and D&D.
have
I
our
want to play
guest.
way more D&D.
Oh, D&D's great.
D&D is great.
Okay, again,
Well-
I derailed it.
No, that's okay. But Magic the Gathering's game you play. Do you play other
Yes.
games right now? Are you playing anything?
I would say the number one game I like to play to sort of like get tension off. Actually, no,
Yeah.
it makes me more tense when I play it.
Kyle does that too. He needs to
Yeah.
play something to get.
It's like my competitive spirit
Steam
definitely
off.
comes
Yeah,
out.
I need to burn that off.
And it's a computer game called Battle Right, which I'm really.
Oh, Battle Right! I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
game.
So it's similar to World of Warcraft Arenas in terms of you do 2v2 or 3v3, except it's top down and you do WASD to control your character. It's all skill shots, which is the part
Nice.
I love the most about my league characters I played. Is I used to play like Morgana and stuff
Yeah.
and Lux, and there's all skill shot characters. You have to aim and hit your
Yeah.
thing. You can't just click something and have it hit them. But it's really competitive. It's really hard, but it's also really fun. So that
just went free to play like within the last 6 months,
yes,
I
and
think.
it also is coming out with the Battle Royale mode. Just
Yes.
saying.
Oh.
Yeah. So
So
did
there will be a lot at E3. That's
Battle Right
definitely
is a
something
great
I'm
game.
expecting.
That game is really
Yeah.
good.
I would recommend it to anyone that just wants to play a sweet free to play game. Other than that, I like playing console games that come out and they're story based. So
Oh yeah, so you do like the God of Wars and stuff.
yeah,
like
I'm
that?
gonna play God of War very soon. I'm definitely gonna. I haven't played The Last of Us since the original version, so I want to play the remastered version.
That's a good idea.
I
That's
just
a game
love the
I've never played.
And I'm sorry, Last of Us 2 is gonna be at E3.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
exciting. Naughty Dog has to be one of the top game developers in the world, bar none.
Well, there's
Bold
Valve.
statement.
There's Valve too.
That's a bold statement.
I mean, come on.
And
Blizzard,
Blizzard,
Valve is.
no, but
I
it's
don't know
okay.
that much about Valve, but all I know is that things are so. I mean, if you're a company and this is just regular business, and the thing that makes you the most money isn't the games you're making, then you should probably stick and focus on that. And for that, it's the Valve store. It's
Yeah,
Steam.
that is very true.
That is by far the biggest moneymaker. That's why we haven't seen a Half-Life 3. That's why we haven't seen a lot of old series being picked up. Is because
So
that's
it's
just,
not worth it.
They make money
So-
off Steam and then
Yeah.
also the microtransaction.
Yeah.
In their
and
large
Valve, I
games.
hear, is a very interesting company structure too, where
Yeah.
people get to choose where they work, a lot of standing moving tables, and so I can see that system not working very well with here's our behemoth moneymaker. That's the thing we're all going to focus on. That's the thing that really
Yeah.
makes this company thrive and keep growing every year. So it's a bummer that we didn't see games from Valve, but
That is true.
Man,
Naughty
And
Dog.
there's
Naughty Dog
Rockstar,
being the
too.
best developer
But
in the
not
industry.
To diss
I
on Naughty
disagree.
Dog. Well,
but
I don't disagree. I just
Wait,
I
who are
haven't
the competitors?
Well, I was gonna say Rockstar.
so
Rockstar, okay.
full disclaimer, I work for Blizzard, so these opinions
Blizzard.
are my own, but I
Yeah.
think Blizzard is definitely a competitor to that. I think
so. I think in a different realm. I
Different-
don't think you're
different-
ever going to see a game like The Last of Us or Uncharted come out of
So,
Blizzard.
if your passion is like single player narrative driven
Story-based,
games,
For sure.
not Last of Us, is,
Yeah.
and sorry, Naughty Dog
Naughty
is
Dog for
definitely
sure.
going to
Yeah.
be the. I just like world building and like multiplayer and like
sure.
the
I mean,
cosmetics and like that's
Warcraft is
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
massive universe.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm such a World of Warcraft fan. I mentioned that on the last episode. Like, just I still talk to my friends that I played with 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it does kind
every
of build
day.
a
Yeah,
community around their game. They're really good at building a community around their games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
narrative story based games have a harder time.
Yeah, you're not going to find people being like, oh my God, you're a Naughty Dog fan too? Amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you like The Last of Us? Cool.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
didn't?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh my gosh, let's talk about Azeroth for a bit.
Exactly.
yeah. Let's talk about how much we love the Horde.
Yeah,
like-
or like, hey, let's look at all of these. You're not seeing many Last of Us cosplays, but you're seeing 1,000 Overwatch cosplays.
So
Yes.
you know?
many.
So definitely,
Speaking of
good plug. Was a good plug.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. You were
Oh,
gonna
please
say
go for
something.
it.
Oh,
No,
well, I
no.
was just gonna say that I did a Mercy cosplay today. Like I did a
Oh.
photo shoot, and
By the time
so
this is out,
speaking
the
of,
picture will probably
the pictures will probably be out at
there.
this point.
which Mercy?
Just the
classic.
original classic. Because actually, when I first endeavored to make this
This has been a long time.
make this happen, get the
Yeah.
photo shoot, get the costume, everything. It was like about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. So it was around the time Overwatch had just released, or maybe it had been out
Been
like
out
a
for
year.
a while, yeah, about a
Yeah.
year.
That's cool.
But I don't think there had been as many skins or anything.
Well, it's tough.
so
It's
I went
tough
classic.
because I was playing the alpha for so long. So like it'd been out and available for
Yeah.
about a year, but I'd been playing the alpha for so long. So it's like
Right.
hard to gauge it. But you went classic, I just think, because it's so iconic.
It is iconic.
Yeah.
I love Nurse.
I just don't remember there being like that many skins either. Like,
Yeah.
I would have definitely done, the witch skin or something.
Oh,
like,
the Halloween one.
Halloween
I
one
really
would've
like that
been
one
amazing.
too.
The Pink Mercy one that just released is
yes.
really cool
Yes.
too.
See, like all those I missed out on because, well, I had already purchased the costume at that point, and it's just this whole thing. You'll see. There's a video about it
Yeah,
I'm gonna make.
explaining
It just took me way too long to get this cosplay
But now you can
done.
do you can do anything else now.
Now
That
I
you've
can do
broken through
everything
the
else.
boundaries.
Finally, now that I've completed this one. Yep.
I think the pictures are gonna be great.
They are.
We should shout out the photographer. Do you remember his name?
Yes, Gil Photography.
Oh,
You can
that's
look
his
him up.
that's his tag,
Yeah.
Gil Photography
Yeah.
on Instagram. Yeah, that guy was real talented.
Very super efficient. Like
Yeah.
just so fast and like let's get the shots in. Okay, cool.
That was
We're
awesome.
done. It was very nice.
I appreciate that in production.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Do you ever do cosplay?
I did a little bit of 4 or 5 years ago, and then I'll occasionally do like I'm dressed as X for an event, But I don't do it as something that is I invest a lot of time
Like
into.
a hobby or
Yeah, but I do like
like more of a
making
side thing.
costumes. I do love the thrill of like pulling long hours and late
Yeah.
nights, like sitting there like gluing stuff.
That's what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Jessica Negri is a friend of mine, and
That girl's talented.
She's
That
incredible.
lady is
Yeah,
talented.
and watching someone like that take their craft to the absolute next level and
Yeah.
and also inspire so many people is something that I really have a lot of appreciation for.
her
too.
dragon cosplays, her World of Warcraft.
Oh my
dragon.
gosh,
God,
they're
Some of the best.
unbelievable.
It's
Yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
her Roadhog one. Oh
Yes.
my
Just
god.
Just all of her content too, and
Yeah.
she's very like herself. She's never like trying to
Yeah,
be something.
Super
else.
nice
Anything
lady,
that
too.
she
Incredibly
is.
humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a
Super
different
humble.
account on Instagram just for her hiking and nature
know.
stuff. Like I
Shout
can't.
out to Jess. I know you're
could
out
rave
there.
on for literal months. She's incredible. I love her to death.
Do you have a dream cosplay you would love to do if you had like infinite resources?
Dream cosplay? Oh man, this is tough. I would love to do like a really good Cowboy Bebop. I think that'd be sweet.
That'd be tight. I think.
But like you have to find the right people to fit every role because they are some very
Oh,
different
like you're talking
looking
about the whole
humans. Yeah, it'd be
cast,
cool to do a
yeah.
whole
Oh,
cast
yeah,
thing.
that'd be
I mean, I
sick.
love anime, so that's definitely something I loved. Let's see what else. Jeez.
There's so many.
I
There's
could
so
say
many.
mine if you need some.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
do. I would love to do Darius from League of
Oh
Legends.
right. We did talk a little bit.
I
about
think we
this.
did. Yeah, Darius, Garen, and then Reinhardt. Like I like the big dudes and the big armor.
armor.
and,
Be a good
like,
Reinhardt for sure.
I want to
yeah.
do Reinhardt for sure, or Garen. I said Garen, right? Or Braum. I could do Braum.
Braum? You could definitely do
I could do
Braum. I
Braum.
like
Shave the
Braum.
head, rock the mustache. Yeah. Oh, it'd be so.
Would you like that to happen?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would have to figure out a cosplay to match or something.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it'd be cool, but not to steal your thunder.
No. Who could you do? Who could
I
you
don't
do
know.
as a matching like ADC bot lane?
So Braum?
Yeah,
Ash.
You could do any character.
Yeah,
from
I,
League of
true.
Legends,
Ash would
really.
be amazing.
Ash would be good. You
Yeah.
could rock an Ash.
Yeah.
You could rock a Lux. You could do Lux.
Ooh.
Lux is my favorite
Lux
character.
is great.
Okay,
I
I'm
just started
taking
playing her a
notes.
lot more. Yeah, because I play a lot of Brand mid lane, and if I get banned out, I just take Lux.
Nice. She's great.
Okay, well now you got some time.
That was
Yeah.
some deep League of Legends talk right
Yeah.
there, guys.
Yeah, and some deep cosplay talk too.
sure.
But yeah, so I guess I haven't talked about my E3 predictions yet. So I wanted
Oh,
to get
yeah.
Oh yeah, what are you
or
excited
like
about?
we
the things I'm
derailed.
excited about, rather, because we already have like most of the predictions out there. At least the ones that we probably are going to happen. We'll see. Like Splinter Cell and Gears of War. But for me, I'm excited for anything Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh my
I
gosh.
forgot.
Because that
How
was
did I
the big
forget
surprise
that?
for me last year.
When was
You
the first
freaked
Beyond
out.
Good and Evil? It was like
I
1990
cried.
something, I feel like.
Yeah, you cried.
The
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one was like many. I mean, I had it on PlayStation 2. I think it
Yeah.
was, and I played that
Wow.
game like through and through.
Amazing.
So now the second one has already been confirmed, or I don't even know. I think it's like a prequel or something. But they only showed like a trailer, and it wasn't like in game or anything. So if they could do something like that maybe this year, I don't know. That would be a really cool thing to see. Just
I would like
see
that. That'd be
anything
cool.
more
I love
from
that game.
world. And I think anything in the Fable space as well. Fable was a long time you guys don't know these games. I know you
What?
guys
No,
totally
I
do.
Peter
know
Molyneux?
Fable.
Okay, you do.
Yeah, I
heck
know
yeah, we
Fable.
know
I played
Fable.
the shit out of
Okay,
Fable.
I mean, we
okay.
make fun of Peter Molyneux all the time.
I,
but-
I
didn't-
thought for some reason you guys weren't like really
Didn't they
into
cancel
that.
Fable 4? I feel like they shut down Fable 4.
Oh, there
Maybe.
was a.
Oh, yeah, like
It-
a co-op Fable.
It was a different
Yeah.
type of Fable, and then it completely.
I like
just
Fable
went
1 and
down
2 a
there
lot.
after that. So anything in that, I heard
Yeah.
rumblings that something Fable related would happen at
That's
E3.
cool. That's like one of like Microsoft's big titles, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't had that many iconic titles, to
That's
be honest,
true.
compared to the other consoles. So
Yeah, Halo,
Halo.
Halo,
yeah.
anything Halo related maybe this year.
I definitely got burnt out on Halo after Halo 2.
I thought Halo
What if they
5's
made a Halo
multiplayer was
Battle
really
Royale?
good, but that was
Oh gosh, Halo Battle Royale,
with Warthogs.
Spartans,
Yeah.
Warhogs, and
Oh
all
my
that stuff.
God.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty tight.
Why not just add Battle Royale to anything? It's fun. It's
We're
just
I
pretty-
mean,
fun.
you could at this point.
FIFA Battle Royale.
Mass Effect Battle Royale.
Wait, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah, I really think that the Battle Royale genre is never going to die. I don't think
It hasn't.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
just
like,
because I think if you think about it, it's just a different way of playing multiplayer. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it's restricted to one
Last
game.
Man
It
Standing,
doesn't
King
have
of the Hill. They're all kind of similar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is
So-
literally Last Man Standing.
Yeah. I mean, I
So,
remember.
Why should it die out? You know, it's just
True.
a really it's
I
a
don't think
more it's a new version of playing multiplayer that's just as fun if not more fun
and
because
very
it's new.
challenging.
Yeah, it's super
and
hard.
super tough.
Did
yeah.
you play Battle Royales at all, like very much?
I mean,
or-
I remember loving the movie from Japan originally,
yeah.
and then I remember being very upset that the Hunger Games just took the same premise and
Yeah.
Oh,
westernized
yeah.
it for the sort of young adult audience.
Yeah.
and then
the Twilight audience?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then past that, and then we had PUBG and we had DayZ and all that stuff, and all the way into Fortnite. And so for me, it's like this is something that has just had so many iterations of it now that I can't be mad that it exists anymore.
Yeah.
At first, I was bitter towards the Hunger Games because like they're not paying any credit to it. All these kids don't know where this came from, how gritty and dark and brutal the original
Yeah.
was. But it's a mainstay of culture now, and look what it's done. Like Drake played it, and that made,
Yeah.
that made all the difference.
Yeah.
That changed gaming. That will be one of the most iconic gaming experiences nights ever. I
Yeah,
think.
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
true,
the
actually.
Twitter was going
Going down-
crazy.
yeah.
Like the top 4 trends
It was
were all
800,000 viewers simultaneously. It was one of the biggest Twitch
It's
streams.
one
It
for-
may be the biggest Twitch stream ever. At this point.
individual.
It may actually
individual.
be, and-
Well, he actually broke his record afterwards solo.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. He
Amazing.
did Ninja specifically is who we're talking
Ninjas
about.
who we're talking about. Yeah.
I know before him it was Faker was the biggest individual,
Oh,
and then
right.
and then now it's Ninja, and then the biggest stream ever, I believe, was one of the CS:GO finals or majors. And that
Really?
was,
It
that
wasn't
was-
even like a league tournament, like Worlds
no,
or anything?
it was
Crazy.
a million. It was a million concurrents.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
Holy
which
cow.
Is fucking crazy.
We're just
crazy.
making
Man,
so
I'm trying
much
to not
history
curse
in
as
gaming.
much. I'm trying not to curse.
That's
as much.
But when you
okay.
get excited,
Yeah, I get super.
there it
into
comes.
It's fucking crazy.
This
Yeah.
is like the one place where we can kind of get
I
away
know,
with
I
it.
know, but who knows?
Mature
There could be kids.
audiences
There could be
only.
kids listening.
There could be kids.
And you telling me the kid hasn't heard the F bomb before?
It's true. That's true. That's true.
At least you're using it in a nice way, not like a
Hateful
insulting or
term, yeah.
hateful. Yeah, you're
Yeah, that's true.
emphasizing your excitement about video games.
Thanks for making me feel better. I appreciate that.
Stop swearing though. My mom's
Yeah,
listening.
please. Oh man.
Oh man, how long has it been? I don't know if I
We're at about
didn't start the
40,
timer.
41 minutes. We're about
Okay.
41
Amazing.
minutes.
I was like, since he swore, like about a minute,
Yeah,
maybe.
about a
since,
minute since my last curse word. Yeah,
It's like
been-
every
we're-
30 seconds.
We're about
just-
41
Ship
minutes,
load,
42
jar.
minutes in, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Swear jar.
Well, I guess what we can talk about is like the space that you live in, which is right now heavily it's in YouTube and
Yes, it's just online media. is
Online
what I'm
media.
calling it. Digital media.
interesting. I've called it new media before, but I guess it's not new anymore.
True.
It's more online.
It's just the internet, really.
the internet.
Digital content, new media,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call
Digital.
And what
I
do
like
you
calling
think?
it digital.
What do you think for you? Like when you go to somebody on YouTube, like do you watch? Are you a fan of a lot of other
Oh.
YouTubers? Do you have any favorite gamers? That
You know, I
watch?
used to watch a lot more YouTubers when I first started out, and then as I started progressing, more and more platforms emerged, and all of a sudden the Netflixes were bleeding into the world of the YouTubes, and everyone was kind of trying to, the Hulu's popped up, and all that stuff happened. I don't really watch as many people as I used to,
Right.
but I do stay very active on Twitter, and that's where I get a lot of my news. That's where I get a lot of like stuff that I can see as trending or videos that pop up and stuff. So as a result, I've just become like I've devoured a lot of like Vine and meme culture. As a result, I've seen so many like small viral videos here and there. I feel like if anything, I'm missing out on the gems, like on the videos that maybe not everyone's seen.
Oh, man.
Like the fine, like ooh, I've got one in the back pocket.
Yeah,
that you've
yeah.
never
That's
seen
like
before.
a black hole. Like if I even start thinking about that, I'm like, what are all these amazing things I'm missing out on? Like
Yeah, true.
photography is really cool to me anyways. When I browse Reddit and I see something that's a really cool location or a shot of a place in the world that I want to visit.
I love Reddit.
And if I'm missing out on any of that, I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
And I could get really depressed.
Yes, yeah. True. Well, social media in general is very depressing because everyone's putting out, it's like everyone's highlight reel and then you're comparing it to your behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this guy's crushing it 24/7, but he can be just as depressed as you can be sometimes, you know?
Well, I mean, that's the tough part about social media and just Instagram, social, everything in general is that you get to choose what your appearance is. And that does not mean that you are that thing.
No.
And I know for a fact.
Controlling your image can only go so far.
Yeah. And I remember in high school when being cool meant you were on the sports team, you were physically active, you were like a buff, stronger person.
Yeah.
And now a lot of that I think is attributed to number of followers you have, number of Twitter, Snaps, Vine, all that
personality.
stuff.
I find that's a little more general, but I think, when you have a persona, somebody like Ninja or whoever online that you associate like your personality with, then you tend to like them more.
Yeah, and they're
people
molding
who have
kids
like a
too.
very outspoken way of being, those people tend to get really a lot of followers and people watching their stuff.
I think the world still favors extroverts in a perhaps not fully balanced way.
And polar personalities, like not like bipolar. I mean, like people that are like, they're never lukewarm. It's like someone they're either scolding hot or ice cold. It's like
True.
People that take very firm, extreme stances tend to attract people. That's why
your voice is louder and polarizes more people.
Yeah.
It makes people engage with it because you either disagree or you agree.
Yes,
but
yeah.
regardless,
We're seeing a lot of that now,
making
too.
a lot of hubbub either way.
Yeah.
That's a symptom of social media for sure. Since I work in social media, like I both love and hate it because I can't opt out. Because it's my career, so I can't
I don't
be
think
like
any of us can opt out.
Yeah, I know. Neither of us at the table can, but it's just like as a career, I can't. Some days I'm like, I'm so fucking tired of Twitter. I don't want to read anything on Twitter. But then my job is to go on Twitter. So
yeah. So what do you think for you is the compelling thing to stay on social media? Like, why do you do it?
Why do I stay on?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I just like to keep up to date, like with like you said, Twitter. Like I get a lot of my news from Twitter. I made sure to diversify how I get my Twitter news. So I follow a lot of conservative people that like reasonable conservatives, not extreme conservatives, and that helps. It makes it seem like the sky isn't always falling, and so that helps.
That
and
helps balance it.
That's why I stay, is to just try and keep in touch and keep like a thumb on the pulse.
Interesting. And what do you think, like when I'm browsing Twitter, for example, and I see something that's like, oh, this person probably shouldn't have said this. Like, do you think that that's something that fuels why people consume it? Like, and then there's the whole aspect of, is this just us trying to like the same reason we play video games, right? It's this constant like getting something and receiving something, like a piece of information,
consumption,
or
it's consumption,
or validation, or anything like that.
We're definitely. For me, it's not an original statement.
What's the psychology behind it for you?
For me, it's like it's definitely not an original statement, but it's like we're definitely a consumption-based society. It's like non-stop consuming. The more you consume, the better. Like
the more you consume, the better you solve your problems.
And just consuming, whether it's information, data, food, porn, video games, music, whatever. That'll memes for real.
Memes, a lot of memes.
There's a lot of kids that talk about they love memes. Like that's a hobby for them. So it's like it's this consuming, this nonstop consuming is like that'll fill the hole, like whatever it is that you're sad about or you're unhappy about, or
we've basically
you're bored.
taken what we used to do with products. Well, we still do it a lot with products, but it's not just another product, something that will help us, I don't know, make us feel fulfilled in some way in little bites.
Yeah, the consumption, and we're definitely in like the information age where both, like we have been for a while, but information is the new oil. Data is the new oil. That's why there's like the big controversies around Facebook, Cambridge Analytica. Wow, this totally got into politics, but like all the big hubbub with GDPR, like it's the data age, and that's what social media does. It's like it's just nonstop information. So part of my job is in social media, and I tell people who create content that you don't like your content has to be good, but you also have to realize you're not competing with other people making content. You're competing with everything on the internet.
Yeah.
So why is this person watching this over watching everything else? Like that can be like from this podcast. Like right now, someone could be listening to this podcast, or they could be watching anything on Netflix, anything on HBO, anything on Hulu.
Why are they
anything
making that choice?
Yeah. Reddit, Twitter, like you it's this consumption of data nonstop. So sorry, kind of went down that rabbit hole.
That's
but
okay.
I find it super
I
fascinating.
poked and prodded, and I wanted
Yeah.
to see where you went with that.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like I also
It is
really think it's
fascinating.
right now is a content creators marketplace because there are massive industries that want video creators, like
you.
yourself. That's why I bring it up. Like there's a lot of competition, but if you're making good content and you're making quality content and you're able to sell yourself, like you're gonna have a leg up on everything because you got Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Amazon, Crackle,
Right.
YouTube Red. I'm sure there's stuff I'm missing.
Well, you got Mixer, Twitch, and Facebook now all
Jesus
in
Christ,
the,
yeah,
in the
that's-
streaming game.
those aren't-
That's just streaming.
Yeah, so it's really a content creators market, and if you
It
can polish, if you can sell yourself and do something unique,
Yeah.
you can.
Well, I
really,
think it's good too because it does fuel creativity. Like people are more and more leaving the corporate, the factory jobs on top of the corporate jobs, the 9-to-5
Yeah.
jobs, just to pursue their own passions.
Yeah.
And there's actually a place for them now. You
Yeah.
know, the internet's opened all these different platforms, and
Yes.
you were able to go.
Certainly.
You did the traditional thing, and you were like, I'm going to try my hand at YouTube, and here you are with all the success, and
It's
does,
tough.
I know it's tough, but it is fulfilling in some ways.
I think everyone needs to figure out what that balance is in life. A lot of
Yeah.
us get shuttled in from high school to college to 9 to 5 and sort of lose the perspective on like, maybe at some point I need to start thinking about what I want and the things that make me passionate. I'm very lucky in that the things that make me passionate, like video games and nerdier things, were able to become part of my career later on. And obviously that's a very unique case for everyone, and I don't think everyone can do it necessarily. Ninja even said this when he was on TV, being like, don't drop everything to become a streamer.
Yeah.
It's not, that's not a financially feasible thing. Figure out where you fit in and figure out what you can do before making a drastic decision like that. And I think that is very sound advice for anyone that's interested, because I know a lot of people that are listening to this are probably interested in gaming,
Yeah.
or interested
Becoming
in
a streamer.
this world, or being a streamer. Yeah.
podcaster.
And honestly, I hate saying it because it's like sort of someone going, be realistic or whatever.
Right.
But it's the idea that like just because there are people that are successful doing the thing that you think you might want to do doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be successful in that way either.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you weren't destined for it or that you're not fit for it or not even you're about your talent level. It just might not be something that works out for you in the same way. And so I think the be realistic thing is like pursue your goals and passions and dreams and figure out the smartest and best way to go about it. That doesn't put all your eggs in one basket necessarily. And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of the younger crowd that see these people like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect or these high up streamers that are really, really powerful and strong and like have big presences, big audiences. They're like, I can be that. I'm going to be that. And they don't realize that before these people got there, they were putting in, Ninja streams like 80 hours a week almost
Yeah.
sometimes.
Crazy
you know.
hours.
Just
Also trying
grinding.
their hand at different things. Like it doesn't mean that they necessarily did
And he's been doing it since
only
like
that.
2011, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he just caught a big break this year, So
Yeah.
like it's something that is not necessarily what it seems like to everyone, in the same way that they're like, why can't you just do this? Why can't you just make a game that's better? There's a lot of work that gets put into it. So it's really about, I think, the journey of learning what you're passionate about is what makes it worthwhile, because
Yes.
in the process of maybe trying to be a ninja, you find out that, hey, you really like this part and this part and this part
Yeah.
of something.
Yeah.
Go for those, figure out what your long-term dreams are from your pursuit, and always be, open to moving the end goal a little bit. It's not like you're going from here to here.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to look
Small
exactly.
nudges, one
yeah,
way or
it
the
doesn't have
other.
to look exactly the same way that if it happened for Ninja. It can be a different thing, but you just haven't discovered that,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
pursuit in your passion will hopefully reveal that. And just don't close yourself off to that idea that it might be something.
Be
different.
malleable and like I think like ultimately to summarize, like chase your passions, but like temper your actions and your decisions with some wisdom and some and be malleable and change
Malleable,
it. And
yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you say
hard, but-
I like the production portion, but I hate being on camera for 8 hours, like maybe you just want to produce stuff. Like that could be totally fine. You can
Yeah.
make a living doing that.
And have it still be in the field, hopefully, that you
Yeah,
want.
that's true. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people want to get into the gaming industry, and it's tough. I know
Yeah.
you hear these horror stories about when they had to push out Halo at the, or
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
my
there
God.
for weeks on end, sleeping in, and like having
Crunch
to
hour.
neglect their families
Yeah.
and their animals
Yeah.
and pets and all that stuff. So it's like there's a lot of dark grittiness that goes on underneath creation. And
Yes.
that's how it goes for every
It's gonna be
industry.
really, it's
Yeah,
challenging
actually,
mentally.
any success, I would
physically.
say,
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's any successful person who's like, oh, it was rainbows and unicorns and golden highways the whole time.
Yes.
Like
Unless you were spoon-fed from the beginning with money and all that stuff.
Just a small loan of $20 million. You know
Well,
what
I
mean?
always think about it is like go out in the street someday and just look around you and look at everything that's built, the roads that are paved. That didn't just pop up there.
No.
Lots
Someone
of
had
hours.
to do it.
Someone had to do it. Lay down that concrete. Someone had to make that concrete. Someone had to make the car that makes the concrete.
Someone had to hire the person who, like,
Someone had to go through the city, get all the permits,
Yeah.
every
Oh my
single
God,
thing
the
around
permits.
you. Yeah, so like that's the same thing. You look at Ninja, he's not just a guy in front of the camera. He's the composite of thousands of hours of work and hopefully a lot of more right decision making than wrong decision making down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about laying roads. There's something I'm super fascinated with is like
I was
Laying
going to
roads.
bring this
Yeah.
up because I know you are.
I'm
but go
so
ahead.
like I'm such like a little like 4-year-old boy at heart, but like I'm fascinated with like bridges, large buildings and trains, and like large ships. Like any feat of like civil engineering or massive feat of manpower to create like some large megastructure just blows my mind.
And imagine the person who's like part of that production just doing one thing every day, repeatedly for however many years. Like just placing one brick or whatever it was.
It just blows my mind. Like I'll look at a bridge like in San Francisco when we worked at IGN. The office is close to like AT&T Park and the Bay
bridge there.
And I would look at the Bay Bridge all the time, and I was like, some dude or dudes or ladies or whatever, a group of people drew this and said,
we're gonna make it.
we need a bridge.
Yeah, totally.
And that went from drawing on paper to this fucking huge mile-long metal structure.
We almost made it the rest of the podcast without you swearing.
Shit.
Oh my God, he was counting.
Yeah.
Balls.
He was waiting.
Balls not a swear word, but
I'm
yeah, you're
referring
right.
to the League of Legends player. Yeah, no, it just blows my mind. I think about it. Like someone was sitting at home or in an office drawing this out.
Right.
And imagine that feeling, like
I
going
know.
Look
like,
at what it's created.
I designed this, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And now you can do that in games.
Yes, yeah.
That's right.
That's why I like Minecraft.
Bring it all back.
Bridge simulators.
We just
Polybridge, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we just bridged the segue too. We made it perfect. But yeah, so I think that's good. I think we made a show today.
We made a show.
We made a show.
Guys, we made a show together.
Hopefully it was insightful. Hopefully we definitely went off on some tangents, but we talked about some good things. We had a lot of advice to give, and we had some E3 talk a little bit too. So to get you guys ready for that, because this will be airing right before that. So hopefully you're all pumped.
Hope
Leave
you
a
like
comment
it.
below.
I'm pumped.
Well, we definitely need to plug our social handles.
Oh, well, I was going to get to the outro
And
part.
well, I'll shut them
No,
down.
it's okay.
No, it's
We're
cool.
still getting used to the structure,
Yeah,
guys. But
sorry.
definitely thank you
takes
so
time.
much for joining us today.
Oh my gosh, it was a pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, thanks for driving
It's a
down.
lot of fun. Where can
Anytime.
people find you?
You can find me on Twitter is probably the best way to get a hold of me at JFWONG. That's my Twitter handle. I try and respond to most people if they have a legitimate question or want to talk about stuff.
Or have cool posts because he responds to some of my tweets.
That's true.
sometimes.
It's funny because it's just I follow so many people now that it's like a shot in the dark or what the Twitter algorithm thinks I want to see.
Yeah.
But
That's true. I
Yeah.
haven't seen. Sometimes I'm like, oh, remember that person? I follow them. I haven't seen their posts
Yeah.
in years. I wonder
Yeah.
what they're
Things
up to.
you missed from
They're tweeting
37
every
hours
day,
ago.
yeah.
I don't see it.
And the other big thing is that for the remainder of the summer and probably more, I'm actually switching a lot of my gaming live streaming to Facebook specifically.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to be doing IRL streaming on Twitch.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think, I kind of, I don't know, for a lot of me it says like, why are you splitting the platforms up? But a lot of me also wants to do it because I like the idea of doing them separately in a different way. But on
like
Facebook,
having each platform have their own unique.
yeah, and hopefully, I mean, it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. But for the rest of summer, it's gonna be a lot of streaming for me, and I'll be doing it from New Zealand as well for the IRL stuff and the gaming from there as well. So if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, it's The Real Jimmy. Facebook.com/The Real Jimmy. So if you guys want to see a lot of gaming, I think I'm gonna do a playthrough we'll do audience votes on games that I think will have like good narrative structure that we can like really enjoy together as a story. So I think Detroit Becoming Human is a great example of a
yeah, I
game
just
that does
played
that. And maybe I'll replay the Mass Effects. I'm definitely gonna replay The Last of Us, like I said earlier in the episode.
You haven't played God of War yet, though.
That's true. I'm gonna play God of War as well. So that's on the list of these like fun narrative one player games that have a cool story, a lot of sweet animatics.
State
and
of
stuff.
Decay is also really
God of
Really?
War.
Cool.
Yeah.
God of War is the first single-player narrative game I've beaten since Doom. The one recently. The most
okay.
recent one.
I heard that one was great,
reboot,
though.
yeah.
If you haven't played that, play that, dude.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
Oh, the Fable game, by the way, I just remembered it might be a reboot, is what I heard.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that
cool,
would be
cool.
crazy if they're like,
I'm down for it.
What about you, Naomi? Where
Fable's
can
back.
they find you?
Yes, well, you guys know where to find me. I just want to plug actually Everybody Games
Please,
social
guys,
handles. So
Everybody Games.
We do have Everybody Games on pretty much all platforms. So just Everybody Games, the name, except for Twitter. We have an underscore in between Everybody and Games. So you can find us on Twitter, Everybody Games, Facebook, Everybody Games _ games. And
You can also download this podcast.
on Instagram. You can also download this podcast on iTunes. Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you guys want, you can start moving it to other platforms as well. There's a Google store. There's Stitcher.
Oh yeah,
and
we're
there's
trying.
Android
So
stuff.
we do
Yeah.
have plans for Spotify, Google
There you
Play, and I think
Spotify.
those-
Oh my gosh, why is my podcast not on Spotify?
Yeah, Google.
Yeah, get
Google
on
and
that. I
Spotify.
only use
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Like that's my
Yeah.
music. That's my podcast.
That's-
Everything. I don't use anything
That's
else.
the plan. So hopefully you're listening to this right now on either iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play.
Or watching it.
Or
Or
YouTube.
watching it on YouTube, I hope.
Yeah. So those are the things we wanted to cover on outro, and that's pretty much it for today.
That's it.
Don't
for
forget,
today's episode,
Patreon.
episode 1.
Oh,
Patreon.
Patreon.
Oh yes,
Don't
and
forget.
Patreon.
We plugged it at the start.
We were supposed to plug our YouTube and Patreon a little bit more, but we got into the gaming stuff.
This show is brought to you by Patreon.
Patreon.
It
Yeah,
is.
big
Keep
shout
the
out.
lights on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patreon.
Seriously though, the Patreon for my show is probably the single most important part of our podcast.
Awesome.
Just because you don't get AdSense is pretty unreliable these days.
Very unreliable.
Patreon
actually,
is the best way to directly support the creators you love. So
Yeah.
It's true.
go and give it a check it
What
out.
a good plug.
Yeah,
was
that
awesome.
was really.
I've only been doing it
You
for
should do
like
this
100
professionally.
episodes now. Yeah. But it's true. It's true. Patreon is by far, we value that above every other platform.
We were debating whether we should do it or not, and then
Yeah, because
decided
we
to
did
do
have
it.
YouTube, we had AdSense, and then we had
You just
Twitch
have to
income
get
when we
so
streamed.
many views to get YouTube money.
It does
man.
take
oh
a
my
lot.
gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
So,
really crazy.
so thank you, Patreon, and thank you guys, our patrons. Thanks
Shout
for
out
watching.
again to Steven Insler.
Thanks, Steven.
Steven Insler.
Right? Did I get that
Yes.
right? Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on our next episode of Everybody Games.
Bye.